once you turn this corner, it really steps up. First cruise in the morning is definitely the best. Milford Sound is at its quietest. Best drive in New Zealand. She's a cracker. Got a Si here from Rankers chatting to you about the Milford Road, New Zealand's most dramatic road, scenically banger, but it also gets heaps of buses at certain times of day. So you travelling in a camper van can avoid those buses. So that's what this chat's about, but also all sorts of other really cool things on that amazing road. So let's rip into it. What happens is people leave from Queenstown at about 6:30 in the morning, like the buses leave from Queenstown about then, and they get into Te Anau here at about 9. So the key for you is to stay at either Te Anau, and Te Anau is more sort of full facility, holiday park sort of stuff, and there's definitely a couple of goodies right on the lakefront here that are great. This one here and this one here. Yeah, and Te Anau's it's a cool little town. Or if you're wanting to stay in nature, there's actually a good lineup of dock campsites all through here in the Eglinton Valley. Last time we stayed in this one, Cascade Creek, that's a massive one. There's so much space there, pretty much always space. Probably the downside of staying in here is there's a few sandflies around, and those toilets, they might look new, but they're a wee bit smelly, to be honest. They're not the best toilets, but you're right in there. And the order of the day is to get up early. So while these buses are getting into Te Anau at about 9, if you can get up early as you can, and particularly get up into this area as soon as you can. So it's once you turn this corner, I mean, this is great driving all the way through. That's awesome. But once you turn this corner, it really steps up. There's a whole lot of pullover areas you can stop with your camper. Like that Pops View is awesome. It's not quite so big, and I would probably look to stay there on your way home. Then you've got sweet mate. Then you've got Christie Falls, Monkey Creek, and if I get my tech sorted, I'll show you a photo of when I was last through stopping in one of those. And then into Homer Tunnel. And actually my fave one is this one right here. It hasn't got a name. Maybe you could name it. You can see it's about, it's nearly 1,000 meters up. You're right up there. You're in this natural amphitheater. Yeah, that's a spot right there. Cool. Okay, and then you'll cruise your way. Quite a steep descent down towards Milford. So if you have got up early, I wouldn't do too many walks first thing. Like if you did want to do the Milford Sound cruise, the first cruise in the morning is definitely the best. So that's when the sea's generally at its calmest, and it's when Milford Sound is at its quietest. There's also the most chance of you parking for free, which is always handy. Like if you did want to do that, that's actually, you've got to turn off at this Deepwater Basin Road, and there's just a little road that just pops in here. And so there's limited free parking here. And if you did choose that, there's a track that just sort of that joins everything there. It takes about 15 minutes. Or if you're into the paid parking, then that's in here. And I really recommend a little 10-15 minute wander out to the lookout there. Whatever you do, it's really worth doing that. Now, when it comes to the cruise, I won't spend too much time on it, but there is one cruise that heads out into the Tasman Sea. So it goes right the way out here and turns around. And for some reason, it's the only one that does it. It's the same price. All the others sort of turn around in here. the view that you get sort of from the Tasman Sea coming back in is awesome in my view, and for the same price, like I say, it's really worth doing that one. I'll share a link. I'll share a link to that. And then on your way home, and so once you get back to Milford, you'll just see all the buses and everything going on, and it's like, well, what's happened when I've been away, you know? So that's part of the plan. So then you're back on the road here while everyone's arrived in the buses. Then you're back on the road, and that'll be a lot quieter now. And this is a really good time just to check out little hikes and stuff on the way back. This chasm here, it used to be a real cracker, but the bridge has been taken out by a flood. So the bridge experience ain't there, you know. It used to be like an 9 out of 10 experience, to be honest. The bridge, now with that closed, that's pretty much a 2 or 3 out of 10 experience, but there still is a 8 or 9 or even a 10 out of 10 experience if you're into this sort of thing as a off the beaten track sort of option. Just to remember that, you know, you're doing this at your own will. If you're good on your feet, certainly don't do it if the river's in flood. You want to be doing it when the river's looking like this, and if you get it like this, then it's, in my mind, I love a pure river, so in my mind it's a 9 or 10 out of 10 experience. So to get that, as you wander down, you'll just see a little sign that'll say donations. It'll say stick to the track. Ironically, that is where you'll see a little track heading off to the right that goes down, and then it goes steeply down. Like I say, take it easy. There's roots, there's slippery rocks. It's just for those that are keen, but it's a fantastic little spot there. Yeah, like I say, you're into here. So yeah, that's all good. And then also on the way back, there's some of New Zealand's best hikes in my mind. There's Gertrude Saddle. That's a mission. That's for people who don't mind walking on bare rock. There's no full markers, like it's known as a route. So that's just for super keen. It's very steep. One that's a lot easier, and I really recommend, is this Lake Marion. It's a hanging lake, and you can see it's just not as steep coming up here. Yeah, but you get up here, absolutely magic. You know, 9, 10 out of 10 experience for sure. That's awesome. And as is Key Summit, so that's part of the Rootburn track. So you're just doing the first part of the Rootburn track, but once again, you're accessing magic country. If you don't want to be walking up steep hills or any hills, there is this one which doesn't get the buses because it's 45 minutes, and that's too long for the buses, and you get to Lake Gun. It's an awesome little rainforest, and that's very close to the Cascade Creek campsite, which I think I mentioned earlier. So yeah, that's really good. And then you've got this Mirror Lakes, this one here. But one thing with this is it gets heaps of buses. So yeah, it's up to you whether you're wanting to pop in there. If the buses aren't there, it's great. But yeah, all good. But yeah, it's just such a wonderful drive. Like in my mind, it's probably the best drive in New Zealand. She's a cracker. If you're really keen on hikes, you could easily spend another day. The one downside about staying in here is there's quite a few. There's a lot of sandflies, so prepare yourself for that. But that's the major downer. Everything else, awesome. Alrighty, have a good one. Cheers.